Afternoon, everyone. For the guys online, thank you so much for being patient while we set up the room and have everyone settle down. Welcome the guys in the room. Nice to see you again in person. Always good. Today's the second of our annual talk. So this is talk number 2. What is it talk? Yeah, talk number 2 it is. Last month, we spoke about setting up your business, setting up the structures, setting up all the little bits and pieces, what you have to think about in terms of laws, regulations. This month, we're going to talk about costing, how to do your budget, how to do forecasting, and why we do those things. Because a lot of entrepreneurs find out they don't make any money. They work and work and work and work. Come into the month, there's never any money. Yeah? And they wonder how is it possible that I can work so hard, spend so many hours, and I'm never making any money? And the reason why is you've got your budget and your forecast wrong. I can guarantee you. So I want to give you simple steps, simple things to follow, and across separate industries. So people who sell time, like myself, I sell time, and people who sell things, like objects. So I'm buying from someone like a shop, and I'm putting it into my store. How much do I mark it up by, and things like that. Okay, so that's what we're going to be actually covering through now. I need you guys to obviously ask whatever you need. Ask the question, stop me when you need to. If there's anyone online, just please ask a question or type it inside the text. Ken will read it out here. So if you have a good question here, just speak clearly so Ken can hear you. He'll then and repeat it for the people online. And then we can actually say, yeah, we've got another 70 people online as part of that's why we sharing it through here. And then we do and record these. So that's also why we do it online. And you can go to our website and all the recordings are up there. Okay, so if you want to listen to something again, you're not sure, by Friday it'll be up online. Okay. Perfect. Alrighty, let's get the show on the road. Why is it now not doing it? Okay. We don't even know about me. I'm not the reason you're here. All right, so today looking at budgeting, forecasting, and how to cost your products. All right. Very, very crucial. Probably the most important thing you're ever going to do, besides initially understanding who your clients are. But understanding who your clients are helps with these items, helps you cost, help you plan. Okay, so why is forecasting important? Do you guys have any idea? Anyone, why you want to forecast things? Any idea? Anyone?
Manage your cash flow. If you're focusing some sort of growth, look at your cash flow, whether you can support the growth of yours. So you will find yourself having goals that you cannot achieve one aspect in terms of being able to have that necessary cash flow.
Okay, cool. So cash flow is the outcome, but I agree with you. So forecasting is like a wish list, if you want to think about it like that. So it's your best guess. So as we know with about like actually having a guess, it won't be perfect, but it's your best guess, and it's based on what you yourself know about the industry you're in. It's what you've learned about online. It's about your experience, how you interact with things. So you make your best guess. That's a forecast. Doesn't have to be anything flashy. You don't need PowerPoints. You can take it on the back of a piece of cardboard. Write it out. That's your best guess. And the reason why it's a guess is because nobody knows in the future. If we did, I want the lotto tickets, please. Okay, because then I'm sorted. I don't have to be doing this anymore. All right, so we don't know the future. So it's our best guess. And then as we then go through the processes, what is it going to do for us? It'll see how close we are to our guess. That's what we're doing. Now we've got actuals. Actuals are how close we are to our guess. And that then will shape your next forecast. So this is not a once in a lifetime thing that you do. This is not, I do it at the beginning of the year or when I think about my business and that's it. I put it in the drawer, done. This is a daily, a monthly, a quarterly thing that you do. And you're updating it all the time because you're learning new things all the time. So you're updating this thing, and it's not necessarily updating a document, but you're updating the information in your mind as well. So you're getting closer to what's real. You know, we could think there will be 300 people in the room. We know from experience, we average about 20 in the room. So we know, but at the beginning, we didn't know how many people. So you forecast how much food to get, how many chairs we should have, and things like that. And that's a very simple way to explain it, but that's what you're doing. So now that we know we're doing this a year, and Mandy's on top of it, so she knows exactly. So we know 20 on average is where we are. You see, and that's now factual. Okay. So obviously it gives you an accurate indicator of what you could expect out of your business. And you got to update it, please. So very, very crucial why you do it. Okay, so forecasts are everything about your business. It's your sales side, because we're always wondering, it's very easy for people to go, I'm going to make X amount of money. That's the part we all get right. And we overestimate how much we're going to make. I can promise you right now, general thing is you estimate you earn half the amount of revenue you thought you might earn, and you spend 3 times more money than you thought you would spend. That's the like actual rule of thumb. If you've done your little budget and your forecast and you worked it out, halve your turnover, halve your sales. Multiply your expenses by 3. Are you still making money? Then you can adjust accordingly. So have an idea as to where you're at. So why we've got this here, why you want to do your forecast, have as much information on there as you can. Detail, detail, detail. So you could do your sales by actual product. So if you own your supermarket, you want every different thing. You might have dry goods, frozen goods, but then you want a bit more. So frozen goods is peas and chips and carrots. Depends on how you want that. That's up to you and entirely. It won't change the round numbers at the bottom of the page. Okay. So it doesn't matter how much detail you have inside your document. It won't change the bottom number, whether you're making a profit or a loss. It gives you information where to tweak different things in order to improve your profit. That's where you want to do it. So this is a personal taste thing. Yeah, and it's for you, it's for your business. For us, in terms of accounting and the advisory work we do split ours. We've got accounting, we've got advisory, we've got secretarial work for like SARS. So we break all these things down because we want to see where we make the most money. What gives us the best thing? And a simple thing we did years ago, we had the industry client, to give you an idea. He wasn't making money. I'm like, but you're a dentist. How do you not make money? Everyone comes to a dentist. How on earth are you not making money? I've seen the bill you charge my kids to get their teeth done. How are you not making money? And what it worked out was because of the time they spend, they've got fixed costs like buildings and all the little stuff they buy, the stuff they put in your teeth, the tools. A lot of those things they lease. But the time they spend, they actually sell time. And he didn't realize that. He's thinking he's selling a product. So they're going to, on your invoice, you got all the little itemized things. But he was marking it up just by the item, 100% on this, 200% on that. And I said, well, where's your time? He thought he was going to make his money out of there. So it's not. What it worked out if we took 2 days of the week to actually just do the teeth whitening thing. So Monday and Tuesday, come in to get your teeth done. Just plain whitening. That makes the most amount of money in a dentist. Nearly 100% markup. And you can do a whole room, you can have chairs like this, done. One day you do like 150,000 rand, one day. Now it makes a lot of money. So the point of this is to break it down so you can understand the pieces. Okay, so that's why I'm using it as an example. So look at your sales. Part of it also who you're going to sell to, but this is really the costing. But now you know who your client is. Okay, so that'll go from there. Cost of sales. These are the physical costs. I bought flowers at the flower market. Now I want to sell them. It's a physical thing. But you can sell time. A lot of people don't think of themselves in terms of cost of sales. So again, if you're breaking down your sales by item, do it in your cost of sales as well. Okay, so you can match the same thing, apples with apples. So I've got a sales item that says, yeah, teeth whitening, as the dentist example. I want a cost of sales item for all the things it takes to whiten your teeth, the paste, the gum guard, you know, those type of things. So what is the things? You can see exactly how much sales was 100, cost of sales was, 15, 85 rand. That's it. I know exactly how much I'm going to make. So follow the same pattern and look at all the things. So even if you're in software dev, people think, oh, but software, you're selling time. A game, you might be like someone is online, they've got software as a service, so like Microsoft license, and that has a cost, and they're selling that service. But the developer who's busy coding, that person has a cost, a salary and stuff like that. So now you can put all that work, and then put those costs against your cost of sales. So now you know that the software guy who supports the team, he might be earning 500,000 Rand a year. But my software sales that he actually looks after is over 1 million Rand. So I know I'm getting the margin. So just try to understand all the costs in terms of the sale item, where your income's coming from. And as I said, initially, you won't get it right. It's called your best guess, the forecast. Okay, so it's your best guess. And as you get into it more, the guess will get better and better and better over time. All right. So just think of all the things, everything you can possibly think of. Even if you get some of them slightly out, like I said, won't affect the bottom line. It'll help you with your planning. Perfect. And then operating expenses. Try to keep these exclusively to what it costs to keep your doors open. I touched on this in the talk last month. Operating expenses are the costs you have to pay regardless of whether one person walks in the door or not. So what is the absolute you have to pay? So you open a shop, as an example. If no one comes in that shop, there's rent, there's your phone lines, there's your staff you think. You've got software maybe you're paying for, that's part of your tools and stuff, your point of sale. If no one comes in, at the end of the day, you're still going to pay those fees. So that's what should be inside your operating expense. Only that. And if you find other expenses that you have that you can do without, that's absolutely necessary to keep your doors open. That's cost of sales. Okay, so that's a simple way of seeing it. Because what happens is, I might have a whole bunch of staff who pack shelves, as an example of using, if I'm going to use the shop example. Once they've arrived on day one, because normally they're casual staff and they arrive on day one, but they'll be packing all day, all week, all month, but they're normally casual. By week 30 or week 2 or even day 2, you haven't sold a thing. Are you packing shelves? No. There's nothing to pack. No one's taking anything off the shelf. So those people would be cost of sales. Because if you don't need them, what's going to happen? You're going to let them go. But the ladies at the till, you've got to work at the till, they have to be there. So that's part of your operating cost. So it just gives you an idea of what those things are. So operating expense must literally be the things you cannot avoid to keep your doors open. Okay. Questions on that so far? Anyone online there, Ed? Anything? You guys understand? Is it making sense? Okay, cool. Yeah, so what should be the outcome of your forecast? So we've gone across quite a few of these points as we've been going on. More accurate pricing. And now what you'd be thinking is like, okay, I now know what it costs. So if it's going to be absolute expense, I can't avoid it to keep my doors open, is $100. But now I'm buying a product in, so I'm buying flowers at the flower shop as an example, and I'm selling them on. I need to, so if I'm buying 100 rands worth of flowers, I got to sell those flowers for 200 rand. One is to cover my cost of sale of the flowers, and the other 100 will cover my operating expense, the absolute minimum to keep my shop open. But who wants to do that? Who wants to work just to transfer money in your door and just out to pay your expenses? We want to make a profit. That's the goal of entrepreneurship. We want to make a profit. We might not necessarily make it on the first day, but if we get our pricing right, that's going to help you. And understanding your forecast will get your pricing right. So giving a simple example in terms of how much profit should you be thinking of making? And the simple answer is as much as humanly possible. That's the simple answer. But at a bare minimum, you should make more than it would cost you to leave the money in the bank. So to give you an idea, I can go to African Bank, I can put money in a fixed and deposit for 1 year. They will pay me 12% interest a year. Guaranteed. You don't have to lift a finger. So if I put R1 million into that fixed and deposit, they'll probably give you a bit more interest, but that's 120,000 rand a year. I could sit on the beach drinking beer all day. I've got 10 grand a month, guaranteed. So if my actual company that I'm going to start for R1 million is not going to earn me at least 10 grand a month after I paid everything, why not just leave it in the bank? That's how you should be thinking about it. Just leave it in the bank. Why have staff? Why have traffic? Why have headaches? Why fight with people? You know, why? It's in the bank. I can use my phone. I can log in every morning and look at it and go, still there. And ka-ching, every month I get my money. So that's what the pricing's for. You want to know you're making a profit. Otherwise, don't do it. It's a hobby. If you're not making a profit, it's a hobby. Okay, because you're not there to just be somewhere. You can have a job rather. So just think about that. That's what the whole actual costing and pricing. And it happens to so many entrepreneurs. They're busy, but they never have any money. Never. And mostly because they don't price. And then obviously keeping your costs down, that helps. When you've got your forecasts and you're planning, you can start getting an average of what things should cost. I mean, obviously you can start seeing like there's certain industries like restaurant industry. Although people don't steal, we know people do, but let's say in the perfect world, no one's stealing your stock. Stock still goes. So in the restaurant industry, things go off. I bought a whole bunch of stuff and it's gone off. It happens. So you throw it away. Or you donate it to the local farmer, or whatever the case is. So now if you know that, then on average, about 10% of your stock is going off. You're going to build it into your cost. So that should be inside your costing. If you got the store example, you drop tins on the floor. or eggs, the shelf falls over, eggs break. And you work it out. There's always a number. Roughly X amount of things will get damaged. That must be built into your cost. So now you know. And if you then don't break anything, extra profit. Everything leads to extra profit. Okay. It helps you do a stress test. And the stress test, to show you what that means, is like, now we have load shedding, or we had it for the last 15 years. But now it's a perfect example. Can my store stay open, or can my business stay open when I only have electricity for half of my day? And you can now test it by using your actual forecast. What do I have to do to change things? If I don't have electricity, how much do I lose? If I buy myself a generator and the fuel, what's that going to cost me? How much more money will I make in profit or actual turnover? Is it a viable option? That's how you stress test your business to see. Maybe you finally realize, hold on, with load shedding, I don't have to be at work all this time. You've worked out a way to actually move half your business online, maybe, which people can be not in your area and they can still buy. So that's what you want to do with it. That's what the plan of this is to do. And then obviously, and prepare yourself and for growth, because that's what you want to do as a business owner. And growth doesn't necessarily mean more sales. You might already be in an environment where you've maxed out the sales. You're not going to get any more clients. Like if you have Rolls Royces, you're the Rolls Royce agent, and they say you're only ever going to sell 5. You're not going to suddenly next year sell 20. I think they only allocate SA 2 a year. So to give you an idea, so if you're in that market, you've got 2 cars to sell. So how do you make more money? Charge more or cut your costs down, you know, something like that. So then you can improve your actual growth. Maybe you make more money by adding crystal cut glasses that can add on as extras for that car. You only sell 2 in that year, but you've added a whole lot of extra sort of side items onto it. The Rolls Royce comes with a trip. Buy this car for an extra 50 Rand, we take you, whatever. So that plans your growth around your company. Okay. Cool. To give you an idea, remember I said at the start, you don't have to make it, you know, complex. You don't need Excel spreadsheets. You don't need fancy PowerPoints. You can do this any way you want. You can make it simple, or you can make it complex. So, and that's up to you, because the number at the bottom, the number here won't change. Whether you put all your expenses just as expenses, if you have a turnover and you just have all the expenses in one line item, the profit or loss is still the same. If you break it up into cost of sales, or you break it up into operating expenses, the number at the bottom will still be the same. So it depends on you as an entrepreneur, what sort of detail you want to see. So a forecast is, what are you looking for? And that's what you should be answering in your own head by actually doing this. What am I as a business owner looking for in my business? What information do I need? Because obviously you're needing something. I want to grow my sales. I want to improve my profit. I want to cut my costs. I want to drop down my finance charge. What are you looking for? And then you customize your actual forecast to give you insights into those areas. And you might not know exactly what that is, you know, to start with. But just slowly getting going. And as you get more information, you'll start knowing and, you know, understanding it. There's lots of videos on YouTube. You don't have to pay an expensive person to come and sit and show you how to do this and build one. It's crazy. I mean, I'll promise you, I'll actually take your money. I will. I don't feel bad. I'm good at what I do. I'll take your money. But YouTube is free. Get on there, watch the videos that explain to you what to do. Use the free stuff first. It improves your profit margin. I'll get rich. You'll also get rich, but I'll get rich first. then I'll charge you. But yeah, so be careful. Don't pay people if you can use the actual free stuff. Okay, questions so far?
Jackie says everything looks precious.
Everything's precious.
That's a question.
Yes.
In terms of a percentage that one should allocate for maybe something like a gross profit, what's the normal acceptable percentage or norm? You know, if you are forecasting, especially with regards to the costs, operational costs and stuff like that.
Okay, so the question is, what is the sort of norm in terms of like percentages for gross profit, profit margins, and things like that? The truth is, if you're going to stick with norms, you're not gonna make it out. All of us here have got different lifestyles, different expenses, different dreams, ambitions, and things like that. So your forecast should speak to those things. So for example, if we work out now, for example, what I said, your actual profit must be more than the interest and you can earn at the bank. Otherwise, what's the like the actual headache for? So if you now go backwards and say, okay, so I got my R1,000,000, I can make 10,000 Rand a month in interest, just leaving it in at the African bank. No effort, 10 grand. Now you go backwards and now you say, I need to make 10 grand profit. These are my fixed costs. So these are the things I can't avoid. My rent is X. My staff that I'm hiring is Y. And that gives you your operating expense that you absolutely have to have. And that might then amount to 50 Rand. Now you're buying products, the actual goods you're going to sell. Okay, and they cost a certain amount. So those things cost now. So already, you know, I need 10,000 as my profit. This is not your salary. Your salary is in the operating costs. Eh? Remember that. Your profit is not your salary. So don't make that a mistake. Then, so now you already know, now there's 60 Rand I need to make there. So what am I doing? Whatever I buy at cost of sales. So if I buy 100 Rands worth of things, I must sell for 160. Then I'll pay off my 100 Rand. I can buy another round of stock for 100 Rand. I've got 50 Rand to pay my operating costs, and I've got 10 Rand to make a profit. And that'll vary for everyone. So that's why you want to do this exercise. Don't follow a norm. Don't because someone said, I get by on 10 grand. You might want to take your kids and put them in a private school. 10 grand ain't going to do it. So understand what you want to achieve out of your actual business. And that's going to help you a lot more in terms of what to cost and things like that. So on that thing, you don't even necessarily, so if I say we sell for 160, but now maybe you put a nice little sticker on it, or you just go like Prime. I saw a thing with this Prime energy drink. What's more special than Red Bull? I mean, why is Prime 500 bucks? Right? Because Logan Paul's got a YouTube channel. Is that why he can sell it for 500 bucks? So that's the thing. So his costs are no more than Red Bull, probably less, because you're not doing all the marketing and stuff. So don't price just to cover your profit. Price as much as you possibly can until your clients squeak. That's what you want to do. Push it up until your client says, can I get a discount on that? And you go, well, what would you pay for this? And then they'll go, no, I can happily pay that. And then you set your price there. Okay, does that help?
Yeah, it does, to a certain extent. Just a follow-up question with regards to that. How do you then, I think I may be digressing a bit from forecasting maybe to strategy, and to say that in costing and pricing, there are market-related prices. I'd like to believe that in accounting, there are industry norms that clients are willing to pay, and they're not willing to pay up to a certain amount of money. So others will probably say, charge you the 10,000, 5,000, or 6,000. But if you come and say that you're going to charge $25,000, and the client is going to say, I know I'm not going to. So how do you then set yourself apart within your industry to say that whilst I'm hosting, but I must try and ensure that I benchmark at least with or in line with the industry norms?
So, and it is a fault, unfortunately, in the industry. So the question, how do you benchmark for industry norms? The thing is, it's based on your experience. And often it comes down to you personally in terms of your actual experience. So when I start out as an accountant, I'm just fresh out of school. I can't go and charge 15,000 Rand an hour for you to come talk to me about how do you do, costing and planning. You're going to be like, but you're a kid. Like, how do you, and then you say, no, I don't see the value in that. Now that I've been doing it for 35 years, then it's easy. So just, if you're doing your market research, and this is why the actual costing is actually important. So look at your environment. And if your environment says it won't sell at that price, then you either move into an environment where you would like it to be sold, or you change into something else. But people want value. People always pay for value. So a story about us. So accounting, when we started out, accountants would do your work. You come to an accountant, you want your books done. The accountant will sit there, and invariably entrepreneurs come only when they want finance at the bank, or someone says, I need your financials because SARS knocked on the door. Now it's a hurry. So you want the stuff now because I want to go to jail, or I want to get a tender, or whatever. So another accountant dutifully goes and he types away, spends 40 hours. You come back 2 weeks' time, he goes, oh, there you go. And you look at it because you know nothing about accounting. You go, how much tax am I paying? Because that's the only question you ask. How much tax am I paying? And you go, no, you haven't made a profit. So there's no tax. Oh, okay, cool. So that's good. And then I go, here's my bill. And you go, 40 grand. And I go, yeah, that's 50 hours work. I caught up a whole year. I haven't got 40 grand. Can you give me a discount? Now I've already spent the time. I'm not going to get it back. I've spent it. If you walk out the door and you don't pay me, I've lost 50 hours of my life. So what do? I think, shit, I'm not going to get paid. I discount it. No, it's fine. 30 grand. And you go, cool, I can afford 30 grand. Can I pay you in installments over the next 12 months? I'm going, holy fuck, I've lost 10 grand and I'm still going to wait for my money without interest. Doesn't work that way. What we did, we costed all those things over a year. We know exactly it's 40 grand, sometimes a little bit more. And we tell the client, you pay us in advance. So today's April 19th. We already invoiced our clients on the 1st of April. We've already been paid. No one ever did that. They told us we were mental. Been 15 years, we must be the craziest on the planet because every single accounting firm in the whole of SA is doing it now. Every single one. That was us. So decide on your product, decide on your market, and if people don't like it, work what works for you, because if I left the money in the bank, I could sit on the beach and make the same amount of profit. So that's why the costing is important. You can't put it there.
I just want to repeat all the mark closer
To who?
to the questions. They're not hearing the question.
You're supposed to be repeating.
No, we never. A mark.
I get where it's at. I would like to make two examples. First, it's location. Whether it's your time, whether it's your product, your location first is relevant. Because a bottle of water at a spaza shop costs 10 rand, but at a petrol station costs 15 rand. At an airport, it costs 25 rand. It's the same bottle of water, but 3 different prices, depends the location. Secondly, it's the customer you sell it to and the kind of product you're selling to. A vintage car, it's nothing to me, but to a car enthusiast, they will pay a whole lot of money to pay. So there's no standard in norms. It's just a question how you position your product and who you're selling your product to. If you got the right client, they will pay an arm and the leg and the heart. But if you get the wrong client, they will pay nothing. But at the same time, if you position your product right to the right environment, you can sell it as much as you think you can.
Yep, 100%. And that's why the costing and the forecasting like actually makes sense why you want to do it. So that same bottle of water at the various places, their costs change. The rental at the airport is something like 500 rand a square meter. So 4 of those tiles, you're paying 500 rand a month for to be there. Just 4 of those tiles. Now, how do I make my money back? I'm going to charge extra for the things that people want quickly. So at the airport, what you want to do? You're not going to sit down and have an 8-course meal. You're going to buy stuff and run for your plane. So all the things you can buy fast, water, takeaway coffee, all those things are highly priced. But you're going to go, I have to go, okay, take it. I'll pay 40 rand. So that's why. So the costing, and it's not, it doesn't change whether you're living in a township, you're living in like in Zimbabwe, Joburg. I mean, Max's Lifestyle was a case in point. When they opened Max's Lifestyle in Mlazi, everyone was like, you're going to sell bottle service, Johnny Black and Shivers for 300 rand a bottle. In Mlazi. They launched Harley Davidson there about 10 years ago. There's always a market. Always a market. Okay. So just get your costing, and it's going to come out in your costing. Because you're going to work out and go, where am I going to make the money? If my rent's too high, or the cost of moving the product from where it is to here, then you're going to change your actual costing. So, for example, Caterpillar, and these are real examples, people you can see. So Caterpillar doesn't make anything in SA. They ship all their stuff here into the harbour here, Durban. They put on a truck and they drive it up to Joburg, next to the airport at Tambo, and they put it in their lot there. And because the plot is near the airport in Joburg, it costs a lot of money. And they price higher because it's Caterpillar. They'd make 3 times the amount of money if they had a lot here and flew every client down to Durban. They'd make 3 times the amount of profit. But they don't do it. They think their market's in Joburg. Yes, the market is in Joburg. But a plane flight is only an hour. Client comes away for a weekend. Just the land here will save them. The exercise we did years ago. They still haven't moved because they still think they've got to be in Joburg. The machinery doesn't have to be in Joburg. The sales team's in Joburg. That makes sense. So do your costing. That'll answer the questions in your head about where to move, what to do, how to think about your pricing. Okay, does that help? Cool, cool. Anything else online? Getting good at this now. I'm really getting good at this, like limited questions. Yeah. All right. Yeah, so on that, guys, remember 2 things to take away. If you're not making a profit, it's a hobby. So that's what we do. When it's a hobby, you make something, you give it away to the grandkids or your friends, it's free. It's costing you money. And if the profit is not more, at least double what you'd earn in interest in the bank, I don't see the point of doing it. It's cheaper to sit on the beach and drink beer than it is to put all that effort in and not actually make a profit. Okay. Cool. We do have snacks here. Sorry for the guys online. I can virtually snack you online. But yeah, thank you very much for your time. Next week, or next month, we're back on the next course. But we are the there are a group of you who are on our Adopt SME program. So the team already starting now to set you up, get things going. That's going to speed up now over the course of the year. Now the holidays are almost over. May's holidays coming up now. Then the real work starts from end of April to the end of the year is the real work. That's when entrepreneurs make their most money. Okay, so we're going to be chasing you guys up and down. But for the rest of you who are not on our program, if you've got any questions, guys, please just send us an email. I still haven't seen any emails coming through asking us stuff. Please feel free. Okay, we are here. I do chat to people online as well, Twitter. I answer questions, I help. So anything you guys just, if you're thinking of something and you're wondering, send an email. It's quick, you can do it off your phone. Okay, if you follow us online, Twitter, LinkedIn, so we are there. And then, yeah, just ask. I helped a young man last week, online. So please, yeah. Okay. Thanks, everyone. I really appreciate it. Okay, cool. Thank you. Thanks for the guys online.